tidak ada obat. Dan tidak ada vaksin.
Jadi apa yang harus kami lakukan, Bu?
Bom, mulailah pengoboman. Dan seluruh orang yang ada di dalam.
Cordyceps, aspergillus, any one of them could become capable of burrowing into our brains and taking control not of millions of us, but billions of us. Billions of puppets with poisoned minds, permanently fixed on one unifying goal: to spread the infection to every last human alive by any means necessary. And there are no treatments for this, no preventatives, no cures. They don't exist. It's not even possible to make them.
So if that happens,
we lose.
I am deeply fascinated with the fungi kingdom. Dating back all the way to the Devonian period, these organisms are all so diverse and remain so. Fungi, like all other organisms on this planet, just want to stay alive. And for one variety of fungus, they were willing to achieve this by whatever means necessary. Parasitic fungi that can induce zombification, the genus Ophiocordycipitaceae, made famous to the general public by the hit video game The Last of Us. This game is a love letter to those who love speculative evolution, while also detailing the effects of climate change and how it affects organisms around us, which was beautifully shown in the games, as climate change played a huge role as a selective pressure for Ophiocordycipitaceae, leading the fungi to change hosts, jumping from arthropod to hominin. In real life, outside the games, Ophiocordycipitaceae is just one of the many different varieties of an extremely diverse family of parasitic fungi, with their family Mycene dating all the way back to the mid-Cretaceous period. The family known as Ophiocordycipitaceae, and for 150 million years, this fungus has been the bane for many terrestrial arthropods. A truly remarkable feat of evolution these entomopathogenic fungi are, especially when looking at the fossil record and how they were back in prehistory. This Halloween, we dive into the world of parasitic fungi. I present to you fossil zombies. Ophiocordycipitaceae are by far my favorite varieties of entomopathogenic fungi, known for their extremely striking and rather gruesome methods in which they took to stay alive. Such brutality reaches its peak as their fruiting body literally bursts out of their host. In fact, like all fungi, it's usually the fruiting bodies that's the first thing we'll ever see when it comes to Ophiocordycipitaceae. They're also the easiest fungi to identify due to their fruiting bodies. Now, a lot of us, myself included, have this pretty stark image of a fruiting body from one of these fungi bursting out of their arthropod host, seared into our minds. A rather gruesome death I hope one day I'll never get to experience. Luckily enough for us, it would seem that Ophiocordycipitaceae seems to primarily, if not exclusively, specialize on terrestrial arthropods. However, much to the dismay of these poor arthropods that find themselves as their hosts, Ophiocordycipitaceae seems to adapt to this lifestyle so much that there is a genera for every variety of terrestrial arthropod, from Arachnomorpha all the way to Mandibulata. The most famous of these entomopathogenic fungi would definitely have to be Ophiocordyceps, and what they do to formicoid wasps, such as Ophiocordyceps unilateralis, the type species. While this genus also infects other arthropods, is what they do to wasps, especially wasps belonging to Formicoidea, that I find truly fascinating and slightly unsettling. To get past the social immunity from formicoid wasps, the fungus hijacks the mind of the infected ant, almost like hot wiring a car, and then literally drives their unfortunate victim out of their nest, up a tree. The ant is then forced to sink its mandibles onto a branch or a leaf in what is called a death grip. Once the ant's locked in place, that's when the fungus grows their fruiting bodies, right out of the ant's body, releasing spores to infect more ants, and the cycle continues. These fungus can wipe out entire colonies. It's absolutely brutal, but yeah, I guess that's how nature works. In fact, the ant is basically a zombie at this point. As in the case for us hominin apes, however, they're actually pretty helpful despite all the fear-mongering, such as Ophiocordycipitaceae, which is actually used as an ingredient in Chinese medicine. In 2011, there was a study by a Chinese mycologist detailing the medical benefits of Cordyceps melitaris, which is another ingredient we use in Chinese medicine. Like always, I read the entire study. This is very informative, so I highly suggest you guys to read it. I'm not going to reveal exactly what it says. I feel like you should check it out for yourself. In fact, I'm pretty sure I have that link ready for you guys in the description, so make sure you check it out through there. However, due to the excessive fear-mongering made by Christians, I highly doubt Ophiocordyceps will make it in any Western pharmacies. But it's worth knowing that for us Chinese, Ophiocordyceps is basically like goblin serum. Quick reminder that I'm not a mycologist, nor do I claim to be. I'm just someone who is interested in wildlife in general. But anyways, I feel like it's time to get into what we really clicked on the video for. Let's look at the Ophiocordycipitaceae in prehistory. Now, I'm gonna get a lot of hate by Christians, but I think it's fair to actually mention the fact that Ophiocordycipitaceae have been on our planet for quite a while. Species such as Ophiocordyceps dominicanus, Paleophiocordyceps cocophagus, Allocordyceps baltica, and possibly many more taxa preserved in Baltic amber, such as those attested in this 2019 study. In fact, in the exact same year, there has also been another study which details the evolutionary history of Ophiocordycipitaceae, such as their transition from solitary beetles to, well, formicoid wasps. This is still seen today. We also have a fossil graveyard dating all the way back to 48 million years ago. Not only does it show that Germany used to be a tropical rainforest during that point in time, but it also shows that the original method for death gripping in the first place was originally done on leaves. That was when evergreen trees were more prevalent. By the end of the thermal maximum, those evergreen trees receded to the tropics. Trees more adapted to temperate climates took their place. Obviously, with these climates, those trees would be shedding their leaves every single fucking winter. And the Ophiocordyceps can't have that, right? Their solution was twig biting, which evolved 4 separate times convergently. Okay, at this point, I'm just parroting all PBS eons. Anyways, go check out their video because it's way more in-depth than mine. Like all eukaryotes, Ophiocordycipitaceae is way smarter than we give them credit for. Now, the question remains, is The Last of Us plausible? It goes without saying, I absolutely adore The Last of Us. It's one of those few zombie apocalypse games which I feel like is probably one of my top 10. Great setting, great story, great characters, and Ellie Williams has the makings for a great female character. She is strong and independent, but not a Mary Sue. She is literally the 2003 version of Ellen Ripley and Sarah Connor. Now, as much as I fucking love this game, I really don't want to turn my praise into bias. So the question is The Last of Us actually plausible? Could the apocalyptic situation caused by Ophiocordyceps actually happen in real life? To those of you who have been living under a rock for the past few years and had not been caught up with the lore, you fucking sheltered fucks. Due to climate change, Ophiocordyceps was able to jump from ants to humans, adapting to our body temperature. Already very interesting speculative evolution. Is it accurate? Short answer by mycologist, absolutely fucking not. However, due to anthropogenic climate change, I'm not sure that impossibility will last. So just to be safe, I suggest everybody drive a electronic car, like a Tesla. Some shit, I don't know. You know, actually, I'm gonna just drop the act real quickly because for once I decided to do this because it's fucking Halloween. But anyways, like I said, no fear-mongering in this video. Everything I say is satirical. And yes, the fact that some people probably believe in this is honestly baffling, but yeah, there's no scientific evidence which suggests that anything from The Last of Us could happen in real life. Ophiocordycipitaceae are fascinating organisms. Definitely one of evolution's greatest success stories. Hopefully you guys enjoy this really fucking brief profile of Ophiocordycipitaceae. Again, I would like to make things abundantly clear that I am not a mycologist, nor do I claim to be. I'm only talking about the things I know about the fungi, which is why the video is so short, because the information about the specific fungi is, well, brief, if not absolutely fucking lackluster. Yeah, I try not to be so in-depth on things I'm not really familiar with or I have limited knowledge of. So anyways, thanks for dropping by. I'll see you in the next one. Happy Halloween.